disruptive.
America that I fought for.
Weird thing to happen. So we got a follow-up story to something we covered recently about the UCLA protests, and people may remember showing this clip, but I'll show it again, of this random teenager that just mysteriously came to campus, found a stick and a mask, and started to beat people.
Among them, this man. He strikes a pro-Palestine protester with a long white pole and is part of a mob that pummels the man as he falls to the ground. Stop. He's seen in multiple videos wearing this white mask, striking the barriers, throwing objects into the encampment. Without his mask, we see who he is. 18-year-old Idan On of Beverly Hills, a senior at a local high school.
Come inside to the kitchen.
So they're trying to paint this as the counter-protest to the people protesting against the war. See, how the media is portraying this is that there's the college students that are protesting against the war in Gaza, and then the people that are coming in that are cracking the heads of those people are the counter-protesters for war. And they start, throwing people around, start beating them up, start cracking their heads and whipping with the pole there and other weaponry to attack them and so on and so forth. And, well, let's watch the rest and then...
I get inside.
I spoke with his mother.
Hi there. Are you Sharon? Hi.
How are you?
Hi. Let me introduce us.
She did not want to be on camera, but quickly identified her son from this picture at UCLA that night. She described in detail how her son found the mask and pole on the ground and said he was defending himself in this fight. On her Facebook page, Idan On's mother posted and circled a screen grab of her son from a local TV station. She wrote in Hebrew, Idan went to bully the Palestinian students in the tents at UCLA. Idan's mother and father proudly support Israel and defended their son's actions at UCLA, saying he is heading to Israel to join the IDF. After our interview, she texted to say Idan denies being at UCLA.
So, note to self and to all the parents out there, if you're one of those smother types, the loving your kids' parents that are on social media, I wouldn't brag about your kids using the word bully. That kind of sends a bad message, kind of sends a bad mojo to people reading that you're proud of your son going to bully other people. Yeah, that's not good for your family. That's not good for your family resemblance. And then you have to hide on camera because a reporter caught you. But you were able to identify your son and call him out and say how proud you are. Oh, man. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That teen got arrested. Surprise, surprise. I mean, I feel bad for the kid. I mean, all he did was go to a college campus and picked up a stick and a mask and started beating people. I mean, have you ever heard of boys will be boys? Wow. So, U.S. teen arrested for kneeling at UCLA Gaza protest. Police have arrested a teenager accused of attacking pro-Palestinian protesters in an encampment at the University of California, Los Angeles. The attack 3 weeks ago led to a brawling that ended after more than 2 hours when police cleared the site. The arrest of Idan On, 18. Idan On, 18. What was that? I had a joke there, but I forget now. Appears to mark the first arrest of counter-protests linked to the overnight campus chaos. Mr. On is reportedly the person in widely shared pictures and videos of Mali seen wearing a white hoodie and mask and hitting protesters with a wood pole. Police have not identified the man they arrested by name, but arrest records showed that Mr. On was taken into custody by UCLA police on Thursday morning. He was detained at a business in Beverly Hills and was held at a Los Angeles County jail. He faces one felony charge of assault with a deadly weapon, according to LA County Sheriff's Department. Mr. On's mother initially said her son was the person seeing the videos in the white mask at the protest encampment, according to reporting by CNN earlier this month, although she later said she denied being there. Again, it kind of sets a bad vibe, and you're kind of going to get flack if you're promoting your kids to act violently towards other people, to encourage the bullying of other people. She said that Mr. On was in his final year of high school and plans to join the Israeli military. His family declined to comment to the U.S. media on Friday. An official with the LA Sheriff's Department told BBC News on Friday that he had been released on bond pending trial. According to U.S. media, his bond was set at $30,000. A letter from the UCLA Office of Campus Safety on Friday confirmed that detectives from the campus police force had assisted in making their first arrest in the ongoing investigation to the April 30th assaults that occurred on our campus. UCLA is committed to investigating all reports of acts of violence and is actively working to identify the other perpetrators of violence associated with the protest activities, the statement continued. It added that those who inflicted violence in our community will be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law. The clashes of on 30 April last for hours and led to intense criticism of the university police force. More than 200 pro-Palestinian protesters who did not leave the encampment there were later arrested. Earlier this week, the university removed its campus police chief after he was criticized for not halting the violence. Universities around... Oh, so you're telling me that police, didn't stop the violence there? That's unheard of. You would think that, officers would want to protect their community. Oh, no, they're there to protect the people that run them, right? They're there to protect the oligarchy. They're keeping them safe, from the peasants. Not the community members that pay their taxes and dues for police officers to protect their community. Of course not. Universities around the U.S. have seen protest movements spring up in opposition to the war in Gaza, but the violence at UCLA shocks Americans. It took place only hours after New York City police raided and cleared a Columbia University building taken over by students. On Thursday, UCLA Chancellor Gene Block testified to Congress in Washington, D.C. about the university's response to the protests. As he was speaking, protesters on campus erected a second encampment, barricaded access to buildings, and committed acts of vandalism, the university said on Friday. The protesters were told to leave or face arrest, and they're willing to disperse, the university said, adding that no arrests were made. So there you go, folks. The arrest has been made by the 18-year-old, this rando from Beverly Hills that just walked into campus and found a pole and mask just in the middle of nowhere and started beating up people because his parents were proud of him supporting a foreign country that, is also slaughtering people. It's baffling. It's baffling. The more you see into this and the more it's just playing onto people and people are just getting manipulated. And it is also amazing that the people that are against the protests and the people for the protests, like the pro-Palestinian and the pro-Israel side, yes, they duke it out when it comes to that issue. But one of the things that was so amazing was even with that, the thing that came together was their hatred of Joe Biden. The one thing that they could all agree on is they hate Joe Biden. They hated him so much that they chanted F you Biden. Both pro-Palestinian and pro-Israel side people gathered together to chant F Joe Biden. But they'll crack the heads of each other when it comes to this war. And that just shows how powerful propaganda can get, folks, that even high schoolers, that they know they're going to get screwed multiple ways to Sunday by the United States, and we can focus on many problems that we're facing here are so dead set focused on foreign territory that has nothing to do with us, nothing for our safety and security. In fact, it jeopardizes our safety and security the more we advance this war. That's why people are protesting. That's why people are calling this out. The college campus kids that are getting away from the Ivy League schools that are supposed to indoctrinate them into this mayhem and envision them into, the security apparatus and basically shill them into the establishment world, are rejecting that and saying that this is ridiculous, that you're paying taxpayer money to slaughter and massacre an entire population overseas. And they know what they're doing. They know what they're calling out. They know that what they are focused on. They've been, looking into what the universities are investing into. They're calling out for divestment. They're calling out people by name. They're calling out who's responsible. And they're exposing a lot of vital information that is purposely being censored out by the rest of the media and by the world. Because the global empire, the global war empire, wants this war. They want as many wars as possible to be as continuous as possible so that we can use us as collateral, keep us angry and vilified, and beat each other up while they get away with heinous acts. So, one arrest by a Beverly Hills teenager. And I'm sure the parents are just like, well, he needed to blow off some steam. He needed to blow off some steam. He did good work for bullying people. Again, I love how hilarious it is that the mother didn't want to be seen on camera. The kid wearing a mask didn't want to be seen, but then he took off his mask. The mother threw him under the bus and then shared pictures on Facebook. It just gets more hysterical. And this is why I lose respect for that side of the crowd, because they're doing it to themselves, honestly. They're really doing it to themselves. This is brought to you by Ground News, the versatile news app and website that gathers all the world's media on one place and allows users to compare coverage. Ground News gives you the access of thousands of sources worldwide, allows you to see the media blind spots, and even gives analysis on the bias and factuality of those stories. Weave your way through the mainstream narratives, the corporate lies, and have total access to find complete information that you deserve. Click on the link below and get 15% off a subscription. Be critical, be informed, be ground.